Good morning everyone, I'm David Pengilly and welcome back. This is part 7 of my Porsche 911 RS backdate project. It's a big day today. I've got the big gun Dave coming round. He's going to do some welding on the other side of the car for me today, and hopefully that will then be both sides nice and sound. Any remaining rust will have been cut out. We're still waiting on the SC arches. They're due to turn up today, and I want to show you something that I did last night. This is a firm called D. Morris Styling. They are based in France and they are probably the preeminent and highest quality manufacturer of RS replica panels in Europe anyway. And what I did was I went ahead and I ordered a front bumper, a rear bumper to fit my SC arches, and I also ordered some front bumper metal fixing kits, rear bumper metal fixing kits, 2 front indicator sets, 2 front wing grills, original, that's black, the front bumper joint rubber, and the 3-piece rubber bumper joint rubber, the rear bumper joint rubber. Anyway, you get the idea. So I think now I've ordered all the parts that I need to recreate this RS replica. My job for today, while Dave does the welding, is to try to get this rubbishy glass fibre bonnet to fit properly in its aperture. You know, we talked before about the fact that it is 10 or 15 millimeters raised up, even though the hinges are at full adjustment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slot the bonnet hinges, you know, the opening mechanism at the front, so I can move it down 10 or 15 millimeters and try and get that to line up. And what I wanted to do though was just spend a little bit of time talking about backdating one of these old rubber bumper cars to an RS recreation, because you know, on DDK, that famous German website all about Porsches, I asked people a couple of simple questions. For example, what rear arches do I need on there to backdate this car to an RS spec? And without asking them, over half the people that replied were going on about originality. Don't do it, keep it as it is. And I want to ask you something, yeah? This is a rubber bumper car, one of the early ones, 1974. Nearly one of the lovely long bumper 1973 cars, but unfortunately I just missed it when I bought this one. So when you go and buy an MG, are you looking out for those rubber bumper specials, yeah? What about when you buy a Fiat Mirafiori 131? They were one of the best cars on the road. Massive plastic bumpers. I don't see many of those hanging around nowadays. What about a Triumph TR7 with the impact bumpers? No one wants one of those anymore. I can't remember the last time I saw one. And I think it's the same with the Porsche, you know? It is not the most desirable model. It's still got the same beating heart. But what we want is that early style. When you buy a Ferrari 308, it's got the exposed gear change, but the 328 hasn't got it. It's got all plastic and rubber. You know, I just think that, you know, a Ferrari 250 from the 1960s with the exposed gear mechanism and the chrome knob, it's just so much more stylish and classic, and that is the look that I want on my cars. You know, it's gonna give me the aesthetic. That's what Singer is doing to their Porsche 911s. They're 300 or 400 or 500,000 pounds, and I'm trying to do something similar on a very small budget. So it's not about originality for me. I hope I haven't upset too many people with that little bit of a rant, yeah? But more than 50% of you are writing to me, banging on about originality. This is a car which, if it was not a Porsche, would never go back on the road again. It is a piece of junk. I'm going to get it back on the road as fast as it ever was, nice and safe, and hopefully looking good. So that's my plan anyway. Follow this and we'll see how we get on today.